We're in the Taunton hub today. How long have you been working here for Oxley's?
So I came across to Oxley's when the prison contract was moved to Oxley's from our previous provider, and we've been in the Taunton hub since April of this year. So we finally got a home in the southwest, which is obviously well appreciated, which means that we can do all the stuff we need to do to support the prisons. So in the southwest prisons, we have a dedicated IT team that supports all of the prisons across Devon, Dorset and the Bristol cluster. And so we look after all of those prisons as basically a satellite team to the wider ICT team that's based up in Brackenhouse in Dartford. Some of the challenges we have are getting into the prisons in the first place. Of course, they're all secure environments. If we're bringing in new technology, we have to make sure that it's security cleared, that we can bring it in without issue, and obviously that we can work with the teams working in the prisons to make sure that everything works as they need it, because obviously access can be difficult at times.
Some of the infrastructure is a bit old, some of the buildings are a bit old, so we tend to have to think on our feet when we get to the sites, when there's issues with, say, networking, cabling, etc. We usually find a way to get resolutions and to get things fixed and working correctly.
Last year we had to switch out the whole of the IT infrastructure from the previous provider. So over the course of a couple of weekends, we got all sites up and running onto the new Oxley's network, which is obviously giving them all new equipment so that they can obviously get the best IT to be able to allow them to do their job. So we have 10 prisons down here in the southwest. So we've got 3 in Devon, 3 in Dorset, and then there's 4 in the Bristol cluster. So it's quite a spread.
So how do you manage to cover all of them?
Yeah, so I have a team down here of engineers, and generally they have an area that they cover. Ideally, we can try and support stuff remotely, but when needed, we have to go out to site. So we do end up doing quite a bit of driving around to get to the sites.
I was working in a independent giftware store in the South Bank in London, which was quite fun, but there wasn't a lot of room for growth, I would say. So I was looking for a role in IT because I've always enjoyed doing IT and tinkering with computers and stuff. So I saw the opening here in Oxley's. So I applied because I always wanted to practice IT on a sort of commercial level and in a more professional environment as well. So yeah, I applied and I was successful.
What's the difference between working in London and living in London as you used to, and working and living in the southwest area?
I think the pace is a bit slower in the southwest, and I think people are a bit more easier going, as it were. Obviously, everyone has their problems and their issues and whatever, but I just find it I find it more calming in the west. And at the weekends, there's obviously lots of countryside and lots of places to visit, and lots of walks and bike riding, and it's just a lot more outdoor activities. It's just at your doorstep.
So in the southwest, obviously you've got big cities like Bristol and Exeter, but you've also got amazing access to countryside. Obviously lots of our prisons are in the countryside. You've also got amazing access to Wales. So if you're into kind of, walking, any kind of outdoor activities, it's a really great place to live.
When I first moved here, I was quite surprised as to how sort of chilled out it was here. Whereas in London, a lot of people don't have time for a lot of things really. But even here, if you were to go to a cafe or somewhere and just chat to the people in the shop, they have a lot of time for you.
What would you say if anyone, say in South East London, was thinking of a change of scenery to come down here and work? What would you say to them?
I would say absolutely give it a try. We've got an amazing hub here in Taunton, which has a hot desking area for anyone who works for Oxley's. So come down and work. You're more than welcome.
Overall, I've enjoyed my experience here, and I do plan on staying here as long as I can. But yeah, I do miss London sometimes because I've got my friends and family there, but I'm glad I made the move here because, yeah, it's quite a nice place to live and work.